Hello, friends, and welcome to 10-Minute English Stories. If you are learning English, this is the perfect channel for you. We share short, simple, and inspiring stories in easy English. Stories that help you learn new words, improve listening, and teach important life lessons. Today, we have a very special story for you. It is about how to train your brain to think in English. Before we begin, please subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new story. Let's begin. There was one moment that changed everything for Arjun. He was sitting in a job interview. The room was quiet. The interviewer had just asked him a simple question. "Tell me about yourself." 4 words, that's all. But inside Arjun's mind, it was chaos. He was translating his native language into English, searching for words, reorganizing sentences. And by the time he was ready to speak, the moment was already gone. The interviewer had moved on. That moment stayed with Arjun for years, not because he failed the interview, but because he realized something that scared him deeply. He didn't think in English. He thought in his mother tongue first, and then translated. And that single habit, one invisible habit, was quietly destroying every chance he had. Here's something most English learners never understand. When a baby learns to speak, they don't translate. A child growing up in an English-speaking home doesn't hear the word apple and then search for its equivalent in another language. They see the apple, they say apple. Direct connection, no middle step. But when most people learn English as a second language, they build a mental bridge. Native language, translation, English. And that bridge feels safe at first. It gives your brain a way to process things, a familiar road. But here is the brutal truth. That bridge is also a trap. Every time you use it, you slow yourself down, you hesitate, you lose fluency, you miss the moment. Think about driving a car with 2 steering wheels. You're at the driver's seat, but there's another wheel in between. Every time you need to turn, you first turn the inner wheel, then the outer one. By the time the car turns, the moment is already gone. That's exactly what translation does to your brain every single time you speak. And Arjun knew this. He had studied English for over 10 years, but knowing the problem and breaking the habit, those are 2 completely different things. 3 months after that failed interview, Arjun moved to a new city for work. His office had colleagues from different states, different backgrounds, different mother tongues. The only language they all shared was English. And for the first time in his life, he had no choice. He couldn't whisper to a friend in his native language. He couldn't ask someone to translate. He had to speak every single day. The first week was painful. He made mistakes, he spoke slowly, his grammar wasn't always right. People were kind, but Arjun could feel the hesitation, the small pauses where he searched for words. But then something strange started happening. Around the 2nd week, he noticed he was dreaming in English. Not perfectly, not fluently, but fragments, words, small phrases. His brain was beginning to rewire itself. This is a real, documented psychological phenomenon. Neurologists call it neural pathways formation. When you repeat a behavior consistently, your brain builds stronger and stronger connections for that behavior. At first, your English pathway is thin, fragile, like a dirt road through a forest. Your mother tongue pathway? That's a 6-lane highway built over decades. But every time you use English, every time you think in English, you are laying bricks on that dirt road. Slowly, week by week, month by month, the road gets wider. This is not motivation, this is neuroscience. And Arjun was living proof of it. But here's what nobody tells you. You don't just build the English pathway by speaking more. That's not enough. You have to do something much more specific. You have to think in English first. Not translate, not practice grammar in your head, not rehearse full sentences. Just think. Here is what this actually looks like in practice. Step 1. Label your world. In the morning, when you wake up and look around your room, don't just see things. Name them in English, inside your head. That's my pillow. The fan is on. I'm cold. I need coffee. These are not sentences from a textbook. These are your real, living thoughts in English. This sounds simple, almost childish, but this is exactly how language acquisition works at its deepest level. You're building a direct connection between your experience and the English word. No middle step, no translation bridge. Step 2, talk to yourself. This one might feel strange, but stay with me. The most fluent English speakers in the world share one secret habit. They narrate their life, in English, in their head. When they're cooking, I'm cutting the onions. The oil is getting hot. I should add salt. When they're walking, it's windy today. That car is going too fast. I wonder what time it is. This sounds almost silly when you say it out loud, but your brain doesn't know the difference between a real conversation and an internal one. Every narration you do inside your head is training. It's rehearsal, without pressure, without judgment. This is the same method used by elite athletes. Runners imagine the race before they run it. Musicians play the entire song in their head before they touch the instrument. Language learners can do the same thing. Run the conversation in your head, in English. Let your brain rehearse without the fear of being heard. Step 3. Consume, don't study. Here's the big mistake most English learners make. They study English. They open grammar books. They memorize vocabulary lists. They do written exercises. And then they wonder, why can't I speak? Because studying English and acquiring English are two completely different things. Studying is conscious, acquiring is subconscious, and your brain speaks from the subconscious level. That's why fluent speakers can't always explain grammar rules. They just know what sounds right. That feeling, that gut sense, comes from years of massive natural exposure. What does this mean for you? Watch films without subtitles, even for just 10 minutes. Listen to podcasts, even if you only understand 60%. Stay with it. Read out loud, even when you're completely alone. The goal is not to memorize. The goal is to flood your brain with natural English patterns, not rules, patterns. Your brain is one of the greatest pattern recognition machines in the known universe. Give it enough input, and it will do the work for you. Here is something that textbooks never talk about. Learning a new language is emotional. There is a moment every serious English learner faces, usually around the 6-month mark, sometimes the 1-year mark. It's called the frustration plateau. You've been working hard, you've improved, people around you can see it, but you still feel stuck. You still hesitate before you speak. You still feel embarrassed when you make mistakes. You still feel like fluency is always just a little out of reach. This moment is exactly when most people quit. And this moment is also exactly when everything starts to accelerate. Here is the psychological truth behind the plateau. Your brain is doing massive, invisible work during this time. It is reorganizing, sorting, strengthening connections. Think of a city under construction. From the outside, it looks like chaos, dust everywhere, roads blocked. Nothing seems to be happening. But underground, pipes are being laid, roads are being widened, foundations are being built. And one day, the scaffolding comes down, and the city is completely transformed. This is what language acquisition feels like from the inside. You feel like nothing is changing, until suddenly, everything is. Arjun hit his plateau at the 4-month mark. He almost gave up. He started telling himself, maybe English just isn't for me. But then, something unexpected happened. He was in an important meeting. His colleague was explaining a complex project, and Arjun noticed he wasn't translating. He was just understanding, directly, instantly, no bridge, no middle step. He described it later as hearing English the way you hear music, not word by word, but as a whole feeling. That was the moment he knew he had crossed the threshold. But there's one more truth, deeper than all of this, that changes how you see language learning forever. There is something profound that linguists have discovered. When you learn a new language, you don't just learn new words, you develop a new version of yourself. Studies have shown that people who speak 2 languages have subtly different personality traits depending on which language they're currently using. In their mother tongue, they might be more careful, more reserved. In their second language, more open, more expressive, more willing to take risks. Because a second language gives you distance from your inner critic. In your mother tongue, every word you say carries the weight of your entire history, your childhood, your insecurities, your sense of who you are. In English, you start fresh. You can be bolder, you can experiment, you can make mistakes and laugh about them without feeling like you failed as a person. This is why so many people say, I feel more confident speaking in English than in my native language. Because the inner critic is quieter in a language you're still building. Use that. Use English as a playground, not a performance, not a test, not a competition. A playground. Where you fall, where you get up, where you laugh at the stumbles, where you discover slowly that you are more capable than you ever thought. That's where real fluency is born. So, let's bring this back to you right now. A real plan, not motivation, a plan. Morning. When you wake up, spend 2 minutes naming what you see, in English, in your head. Pillow, fan, window, cold, coffee. No full sentences required, just the habit of direct connection. During the day, pick one daily activity, cooking, walking, commuting, narrated internally in English. No one can hear you, no judgment, just your voice inside your own mind. Evening. Watch or listen to something in English without translating every single word. Let the meaning wash over you. Trust your brain to catch what it can. Before sleep, think about your day in English, even 5 short sentences. Today was good. I was tired. I learned something new. Simple is perfect. This takes no extra time, no extra money, no classroom. Just the decision to make English part of your inner world. Not just something you do in tests, not just something you use when you have to. The brain thinks in the language it lives in. If you want to think in English, you have to live in English, even if it's just for 30 minutes a day. Arjun's story didn't end with one perfect moment. It unfolded slowly, quietly, the way all real change does. He didn't wake up one morning and find himself fluent. He built it, one internal sentence at a time, one brave conversation at a time, one moment of not translating at a time. And if you're someone who has been fighting this battle for months or years, know this. Your brain is not broken. It just needs the right environment. And the most powerful environment you can give it is the decision to start thinking differently, starting today. If this story shifted something in you, even slightly, subscribe to this channel. Every week we put out stories like this one, Stories that teach, stories that move you, stories that stay with you. Because learning English is not just about speaking a language, it's about becoming someone new. And that journey, that is worth taking.